Well, that's a good view. This is going to be a lot of fun. 1 to 2 inch favorites. Actually, my 1 to 2 inch best points here on Indian Trace. And wanted to see some of this stuff after 3 years of collecting, which is a really good turnout after 3 years, just to give a little cut of it here. And we're going to just talk a little bit about this, but look at this as in the recent days, today and yesterday. This point I wanted to do a cleanup on. Somebody made a comment about it. It's really unique. Now there's a piece of pottery underneath it, but I want to give as close up as I can of this just to show what I'm talking about. Sure, it's serrated and it's a great piece of quartz and the workmanship is great, but I think this lighting will do it justice. On this side, it's worked off, and just look at it real close in terms of the base and how it's constructed. And for those of you who are really into how things are made and produced, if I can get the lighting right on this side, it's relieved down on the bottom. I'm testing my lighting here. Anyway, and it's ground. The whole base is ground. And please put a shout out to me. I'm always learning things. If that means something in particular on this point, or the era of this point, when it was produced and what have you, let me know. Just trying to give you as good a look as I can on it. Down here, it's all smooth as can be, and then there's a deeper relief right here. Then the base is ground. So just a really unique piece I found yesterday. Promising sight for that. The neat thing is I rarely, and I'll put this aside now, I rarely find pieces of pottery this big. I found this today at North Gillfield. It's heavy. It's tempered with sand, and which of course is crystalline. It's bigger. This piece does not have texture, fabric texture, inlay on the pottery. I can get this. It is late. I'd like to say archaic, but really I believe they started, and archaeologists believe they started using pottery, which designates the woodland period, so it's very early woodland pottery. So the site, it confirms it's a late archaic site, very late, early woodland site. This is a big piece. I'd call a massive piece to find from around here. Doesn't have the fabric texture or even the corncob or designing. It was pretty simple and utilitarian, but that is a wild piece of pottery. Just not used to finding pieces that big here in North Carolina. Anyway, I'm going to roll right along this video. Alright, very cool stuff for the last couple days, and some other stuff I didn't put there. Now I'm going to go ahead and go around the outside and show you my 1 to 2 inch favorite points. Lots of different styles, but of course it's the archaic period that I love most. Let's go right around the outside here. This point was found over in the Falcon. And the natural light, the way it is, will give you a good idea of how these things are made. A newer site, I've only been able to collect it one season. I got this off of, which you guys might have heard before. It's Coyote Pass. Just a little bit on each one, unless it's a particular favorite point. Stone Hill. This one came from a site that I really have never really found a whole lot on, but I was happy to find this bifurcated one there. It was a great point to find. And then a Notchville piece of sugar quartz makes it into 1 to 2 inch favorites. Look at this piece with the natural light, just good stuff. And if they're favorites, I never forget the site I found them off of. Like, this is Saponi, and that was a smoking day. I remember that. I found like 3 or 4 really great points. This came from the easement. Really fun stuff. No quartz in this because that's just a different category altogether in terms of favorites. So This one came from Mecca, and just a great point looking at this close up. The base is real smooth. And I've been happy with the way the camera's working lately, so with this natural light I want to give everybody a real close-up of some of what I consider just my most loved points. So if you just absolutely love the archaic period and arrowheads with this variety and this style, you'll like this video. If not, you probably just move on to some other video. And we're getting ready to find a lot here in the spring, so all is well. Look at this piece with the relief. Found at Mecca. This is a unique piece, and I really liked it. It was just really great workmanship. And the relief was unique with its coloration. Not an accident there. They just struck a relief right there. Probably they hafted it right in. Then this one from Coyote Pass was fairly recently highlighted. Going right around my loop. The Cascade gave me this one. I remember a hot afternoon in I think pretty much mature potatoes before they were brought in. And here was a great point over from Notchville, which has really put out so many great points. Look at this piece. Let's jump right onto the inside ring, or the outside of the inside. There's just 4 here. Outer edge really gave me this, and it's really not broken. None of these are, for the most part, broken. Sure, they have a little nick or something out there, but they're still just stellar. Look at this piece of sugar quartz. Coyote Pass. Great stuff. It's one of my favorite things. And the coloration on this, I'm going to flip it just to show you. Other side. I'm trying to watch my time as well, everybody, but it's just worth seeing these 1 to 2 inch smokers. That was from B&B Field. Look at that thing. All right, let's finish on this inside ring, if you will. These 3 at the bottom, right here in the center of the screen, are just a favorite style. Real simple stuff, strong, heavy points. So let's look at those first. I always love to find this sort of thing. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorites in the middle is that sort of point as well. When I found this at Notchville, I remember right in the middle of finding this, there was this huge explosion. They were blowing up beaver dams and down the easement. It was funny. Here's a nice point. And these are heavy and sturdy points, which I'll take any time. This came from, I think it was over there in Site 1. I remember exactly the spot I found it on. Alright, look at this. This is unique. I think some of you will be able to get something out of this who really study this stuff. The base is ground. Whatever you can tell me off of that is fine. Awesome point. Very unique. Found over there at Strip. And here's a smoker for you. Holy cow, right? That was about 3 years ago when I first started getting into things. I was just happy as could be about finding a point like that. Just a little over 2 inches on that. These are all 1 to 2 inches, but that one's a little longer. And same with this one in here, which is one of the first points I ever found, to be honest. Most unique flint. I really don't find them out of that. That was found at Site 5E over there. And I'm always careful when I say these things because I'm not going to give the road. I'm not going to give the real area. That was found at the Lookout. Great stuff. Here's one found at Dunes. These are for various reasons. They're completely different styles, I know, but they're just my favorites. And I wanted to share it with this community out there. You guys are excellent in all your sentiments and your love for the North American Indian. That's really what this is about as I finish up here. Just a slow tour of being able to look at some great artifacts if you wanted to relax and see North Carolina's best, or Eastern North Carolina's best. At least the best I could find. And I've got a couple more smokers to show you on the way out here. Look at this piece found at one of my friend's places. Over there near Hidden Hill. Nice rhyolite right there. This is a complete smoker from the Archaic. I'm hoping that the color and everything will come out perfect. As many would say, at lattice dart tip. Great piece right here. Great piece. Yeah, so I'm going to show you this. Just one of my most favorite pieces. Simplicity, right? Here's a good piece for you. Found at the bottom of the Hawk. It is ground on the bottom, very smooth. It's got some quartz inclusions in it. This was a smoker. Morrow Mountain from the Rise 2. Blue-green rhyolite. The greatest patina on those. And then another piece from the Archaic, which, you know, puts them out. Look at this piece right here. And I remember distinctly, one of you in particular, mentioning the coloration on this and everything, and I knew this natural light would do it justice. What a great point from over there. So as we finish up, I did find this point at Mecca, which was just a great style I loved. But all that, man, just happy as can be after 3 years, and I don't even know what to expect when a new season's getting ready to roll around. Sorry about the focus there. That'd make a great frame right there. Might very well do that. Anyway, as we get ready for the spring here, let's just kick it off and believe the best, right? Whew. Well, everybody, thanks a lot again for tuning in to Indian Trace. I appreciate it. Look small, miss small.